I am Carlo Pisukan from CRI 227, code 242 Forensic Photography. In this video, I'm gonna show you how the step-by-step procedures of contact printing by Edlo Contact Printing Photography.
Hi, I'm Rachel from Little Vintage Photography, and Ilford have asked me to create this series of bite-sized videos to help introduce you to some darkroom techniques. In this video, we will be looking at contact printing. Contact printing is a quick and simple way of creating prints from your negatives at their original size. It's called contact printing because you take your negative and your photographic paper and literally put them in contact together like a sandwich, rather than putting your negative into a holder or carrier of the enlarger. You may have heard of contact sheets, which look a little bit like this. They're effectively a way of making a contact print of a whole roll of film in one go. To make a contact sheet, you arrange your negatives, in this case 35mm, on top of a piece of photographic paper under red light and then expose them to light from the enlarger. You can use a contact printing frame like this to do so, or for an even quicker option, place the cut strip of negatives into a totally clear negative file and simply lay it on top of the photographic paper. If you have slightly curvy negatives, you might want to add a sheet of clear glass over the top to ensure a good contact between the negatives and the paper. As with creating any photographic print, you'll probably want to create a test strip first by using black card to cover or uncover the photographic paper in incremental steps during exposure. This is a more economical way of checking for exposure before making a final print with all the strips of negatives on one whole sheet of paper. You could of course create some individual contact prints from 35mm or medium format negatives, a little bit like this one here. Just remember that your final contact print will be the same size as your original negative because it hasn't gone through that enlarging process. Where the contact printing process really comes into its own is with large format photography as a way of creating a positive print from your large format negative. If you don't have access to an enlarger that will take a large format negative, this is a perfect way of creating a positive version of your image. The technique for creating a large format contact print is much the same as for 35mm or medium format. First, you'll want to cut your photographic paper to the appropriate size. For example, one piece of 10x8 paper will allow for 4 potential 4x5 contact prints from a 4x5 sheet film negative. Helpfully, Ilford also create pre-cut multi-grade resin coated paper in a 4x5 inch size, which comes in a box like this. Next, you'll want to lay the large format negative on top of your photographic paper under red light. Ensure you have clean, clear glass over the top to create a good contact between negative and paper. Use black card to create a test strip to check exposure. Develop, stop, fix and wash. Then create your final contact print with a fresh piece of photographic paper. Develop, stop, fix and wash as usual. As well as creating contact prints from film or sheet film negative, like these, you can also use this technique when working with paper negatives. A paper negative is where a piece of photographic paper is used in camera to create an exposure and produces a negative impression on the paper itself. Here's a couple of examples of paper negatives that I created using my Harman Obscura pinhole camera. In order to produce the final positive versions from the paper negatives, I again used the contact printing technique. Under the red light, lay a fresh sheet of photographic paper emulsion side up under the enlarger. This can be cut to size, or you could use another pre-cut piece from the same box of 4x5 paper that you used to create the negative. Lay your paper negative emulsion side down on top of the bottom sheet as a direct contact sandwich. Lay clean clear glass over the top, or use a frame or contact printing frame as before to hold them in place. Use black card to create incremental steps as a test. Develop, stop, fix and wash the test print and choose the best exposure time from this. Repeat with a fresh piece of paper and develop, stop, fix and wash as usual. So that was contact printing. I hope you found the video useful and that it's inspired you to have a go for yourself. We'd love to hear from you in the comments, and if you've got any of your own work or your own images you'd like to share, please do that in Ilford's social media channels. You can also check out Ilford's YouTube channel for other darkroom techniques. Thanks very much for watching.